What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our Monday training here in the Recast group. And I am joined by special guest speaker, Adam McInnes. And
McInnes.
McInnes, I knew I would do that. He is here to teach us about Google My Business and how you can leverage your business, get more leads on Google using Google. And he's really like the expert in the field that I know when it comes to all things Google My Business. And he's going to come and talk to you guys about all of the amazing things it can do for you. So if you guys, as you guys are joining us, I know some will be in live, some will be in replay, drop live or replay in, but also as you come on in, let's give Adam a warm welcome and thank him for being on here with us today. I'm going to let him kind of take over the show here in a second, but drop a welcome in the comments and let him know that we are excited to have him here with us today. So welcome, Adam. Thanks for joining us and thanks for being here to teach us about Google My Business. Super excited to have you. So yeah, I'll let you kind of take over. Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you do.
Sweet. Yeah. Thanks, Kristen. Kristen and I actually met almost 2 years ago now, 2 years and a half, through several of the coaching groups that we are a part of ourselves. And both have the same kind of passion and drive in the real estate space to kind of help agents grow. And so we kind of both do a lot of the same stuff in different ways, which is kind of fun. So thanks for having me. I'm super stoked to be here because both of our goals, I think, is just to really help the real estate community grow. There's lots and lots of agents out there that need help in different areas. And, I think that we both have that passion to just help people get out there and grow on social media and grow online. So when Kristen said, "Hey, Adam, do you want to come on and chat about Google My Business and what you're doing inside Google My Business for your clients?" I was like, yes, because Google My Business, guys, is one of those things that's super highly underutilized by real estate agents. And so it's actually a lot easier to rank than you think. And one of the things that I talk about a lot in my own personal group that I run is that, if people cannot find you online, they're never going to call you. And so we want to try to get you guys as much exposure on all social platforms as we possibly can. But Google becomes probably one of the most important ones to have your business visible, because that's where people are going to be going to search for realtor near me or real estate for sale or homes for sale or whatever those keyword ranking factors are on Google. That's where people are going to go. They're going to be doing that on Google. They're going to be doing that on YouTube. And so we want to make sure that you are actually visible, because if you're on page 2, probably nobody's going to find you. I was reading some stats the other day that said something like 87% of people never get past the first page of Google. And so if you're on page 2, it's basically the same as not being on Google at all, because 90% of people are never going to find you in the first place. And so Google My Business, or it's now called Google Business Profile, is probably one of the easiest, most underutilized tools for real estate agents to leverage to actually gain exposure on the Google platform. And one of the cool things about it is that it's not that hard to do. So I'm actually going to show you guys how we kind of do it. And I'm going to walk you through it. When I made this presentation, I was like, I don't want it to be, there's no sales pitch in this presentation at all, because I just wanted to put actionable steps together that you guys can literally take right now. If you're watching this live, or if you're watching this on the replay, you can follow along if you've got a GMB account set up, so that you can set yourself up and optimize it, because it's not that difficult. And my goal personally is that I want to help as many realtors as I possibly can grow their businesses. I know Kristen shares the same philosophy. So we're going to just kind of dive right into it. So how to get on the first page of Google in 30 days or less. This is one of the guarantees that we have in our agency, because the stuff that we implement and the stuff that I'm about to show you actually works. At the very end of this, I'm actually going to show you a real live example of somebody that had just started 2 days ago and is already ranking. So pay attention, because this is some powerful, powerful stuff. Let me get going here. So I want you to imagine for just 1 second in your real estate business that you can generate free inbound buyer and seller leads without spending a dime on ads. So you're going to see a lot of marketing agencies out there, probably mine included if you're online, offering X number of leads every single month. And then you get on a phone call with them and it costs $2,000 a month to work with them. Yeah, me too, by the way, just so you know. But you can actually generate free leads on your own using Google My Business when you know what you're doing. So think about that for a second. Free inbound leads on Google. Like, come on, high search quality, high ranking, everything's going to work super, super well on Google. What if you could outrank your fiercest competitors on Google without any complicated SEO? So whenever somebody thinks about ranking on Google, they think that, oh, I've got to have like my website highly optimized, and I've got to have backlinks, and I've got to have this, that, and the other thing. And oftentimes when you hire an SEO company to do that stuff for you, to get your page ranked, it is going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost, $2,500 a month for them to consistently manage your page and consistently getting you ranking for high target keywords, using blog posts, content to get your website to rank. But with GMB, you don't actually have to do that, which is really, really cool. And then the last piece is that GMB is actually used by everybody to find the trusted brands, to find the trusted people that are local in their area. And you'll see what I mean by that in just a little bit here as we get going. But you can become the number one most trusted agent in your market, or at least very close to, with very little effort using Google My Business. And so let's kind of get into this. I do have to give you guys a quick warning. If you start generating or implementing this stuff into your business, you will start generating leads for free online. You will be able to rank on the top pages of Google Maps. You're going to create exposure for your business, and you're going to start to generate inbound leads like crazy, and your business is going to grow. So I have to warn you that if you start to implement some of these simple tips and tricks, then this is going to happen. And it has happened for every single one of our clients who has done this. So who wants to see how we're doing it? I know this is live, but I can't see any of you. So if you're typing in the chat, just type a 1 if you're ready to see how we actually do it. And I'm just going to do it anyway. So here we go. So there are 3 big misconceptions about ranking on Google. Number 1 is that you need to know SEO. And I kind of already mentioned that. We use some SEO strategies, yes, because we need to understand what people are searching for in order to rank for those words. But you do not need to be an SEO expert, and you do not need to put out a ton of SEO content on your website to be able to pull this off. So misconception number 1 is that you need to know tons and tons of SEO. Not true. Number 2 is that you need to have a lot of backlinks. And when I first heard about backlinks, I was like, well, what the heck does that mean? Basically, what a backlink is that it's your primary website domain or link on several other web platforms. So whether you're using like a Bing search or a Yext or something like that, where your website is pasted on a contact card, that's a backlink. And so a lot of people think, well, how am I going to get my website onto like hundreds of thousands of websites to get backlinks to it and start ranking? Well, you don't actually need to do that. And in fact, you can use GMB as a backlinking platform. And I kind of go through that in our GMB Fast Track program, which I'll talk a little bit about at the end. But you don't need to do a ton of backlinks, and you don't need to really understand that whole back end to make this work. I need a lot of clients to get enough reviews. Again, that isn't necessarily true. I've done this with brand new agents who don't even have their first client, and we've been able to rank them on the first page. And I'm going to show you one at the very end here, but all you need is real reviews. And I think that anybody who is in business or in life, we've all got friends, we've all got family, we've all got people who know, like, and trust us, who are going to be willing to vouch for you. And that's all Google needs to see. And obviously, if you're doing well for yourself and you've got a lot of clients, then yeah, absolutely, you should be asking those clients for reviews every single time. And a quick tip that I always recommend that my clients do is that when you close on a property, whether you help them buy or you help them sell, always send out a review request before possession, because we all know that possessions can create some craziness, and it can be a little bit stressful on one side or the other. And so we want to actually get that review when they're super excited that the move's coming up. So if you've got clients, sending them review requests right before they actually take possession of their home is a great idea. But you have lots of people that you can reach out to and ask for reviews. Now, another big misconception, and this is a bit of a bonus one here, is that you don't have enough time to do this stuff. And I'm going to challenge you. And if you've got the right tools in place, if you've got 10 minutes a day or 3 hours a month, you can create an entire month's worth of content that you can actually start posting on GMB to start helping yourself rank. So you do not need a ton of time to do this. And I'll, if you have any questions about how we do this and how we simplify that process, all my contact details are going to be at the end here. So why should you be using Google My Business? Well, I've already mentioned that Google is already the number one most top rated search engine in the world. So we'll get into that, but it's free and it's actually easy to use. If you are on Facebook and you are on Instagram and you are on YouTube, you can absolutely be on Google Business Profiles or Google My Business. It's not hard, and it's just like every other social media platform, where the more active you are on it, the higher you are actually going to rank just from being active. So Google actually rewards people who are the most active on their platform, and you'll see that again here in just a little bit. You need to be on Google because that's where people are going. That's where people are searching for realtors in their area, realtors near me, homes for sale. And if you cannot be found on there, then just plain and simple, you can't be found. You're never going to get new clients from it. So you need to be on the number one most trusted search engine in the world. Google actually has 90% of the internet search traffic on it. So, and I think it's second only to Bing. And then Yahoo's got like 2%. So Google is 90% right now. So you need to be on it. Number 3 is that it creates exposure and it increases your authority in your market. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about when we talk about reviews. That's where people are going to go to find out who to trust. And just a really quick example of this is that, I woke up this morning and I actually saw a Facebook ad for a duct cleaning service, and I haven't cleaned my ducts in my house in over 2 years. So the first thing that I did is I went to Google and I searched for duct cleaning businesses. And the first thing I did was I checked the map pack to see which companies had the highest star rating. And again, we'll get into that in more detail here in just a little bit. So one of the things that I want you guys to fully understand before the end of this webinar, so that you guys can really take advantage of what Google My Business can actually do for your business, is that I want you to understand the fundamentals of it so that you can take advantage. So these are kind of the 4 core fundamentals of ranking your business on Google Business Profile or Google My Business, which is effectively Google Maps. So number 1 is relevance. Your content must be relevant to your audience. So you're all in real estate. Your content should be real estate related. And a little bit of a side note here, when you're talking about, and this is one of the things that I talk about in my group as well a lot, is that don't make your content like everybody else's content, right? Everybody's posting their big wins and their, we got the job done and new seller, new happy client and all of that sort of stuff. I always say post educational content, things that are going to be useful to new people finding you online. So post relevant content that's actually going to help your audience and people that are searching for those things to make you stand out, because I can tell you everybody's posting how awesome they are. And so I like to be a little bit different when we do stuff with our clients. Number 2 fundamental is distance. Now, this is the one thing that you cannot control on the Google Business Profile platform. Your business is your business. Your address is your address, and that's going to be the starting point for your business. So you need to have an address. If you don't have an address, go and get a virtual one that is somewhere in the vicinity of the communities that you like to work in, because it's going to start out local and expand out from there. So typically, Google is going to show the most relevant profiles within a 5-mile search radius of a business location. Now, there are definitely ways to get, 10 miles, 20 miles out. It just takes a little bit more work. So you need to understand that where your office is probably going to be one of the most important factors in getting you ranked locally in your community. And then prevalence. Google rewards active users that regularly post and have good quality content on their platform. So just like Facebook and Instagram, the more content you post and the more quality content you post, the higher you're going to rank. And then lastly, and I think one of the most important things is reviews. This is where people go to figure out who they're going to work with or who they want to work with. And a lot of the time they're going to do that based on reviews. So let's talk about relevance for just a second. So setting your primary and secondary categories in GMB is an absolute must. So you want to make sure that you have real estate agent, and I believe the second category is real estate agency. Those are going to be huge ranking factors for anybody searching for real estate. Use relevant keywords in all of your content. So when you create a GMB post, you have up to 1,500 words that you can use in your post. And so you need to take advantage of those and you need to make them count. You need to use local keyword searches in your content, because that's actually going to start helping you rank for local keywords. And then use a keyword in your GMB listing title. I have to kind of make a little bit of a caveat on this, because it's technically against Google's terms and services to have major keywords in your title. However, there are also several workarounds to this where, for example, if I was an agent with Remax, I would put in, Adam McInnes, Calgary real estate, Remax, whatever, in my title. Now, if I have that same title on all of my social profiles and all of my websites, Google's going to look at you and be like, okay, actually that's a legitimate business name. If you don't have it and you've just got it loaded full of keywords, it's going to flag you, and other people can go and flag you and say that this name is not legitimate. So if you want to use this strategy, which is probably one of the most effective strategies in ranking, just make sure that it's on all of your platforms, so that Google and other people that search you can't question it. So I just have to put that little caveat there, that technically it does go against Google's terms of service, but there are ways around it just to make sure that you're consistent on all platforms with the same name and keywords in all of your content. So distance, I already mentioned, you can't control this. You are where you are. Your office is where it is. And that is going to be the starting point for outreach. So make sure that you have the correct address. You're going to need to use that address to verify your GMB account anyways. So correct address, adding a photo of the exterior of your office, and adding your address to that photo. So you're going to learn a little bit here that Google can actually read your photos. So they can read text on it. They can actually see, if I was to post something on a GMB page in Calgary, and I posted the Calgary Tower, which is one of our famous buildings here, Google actually knows that, hey, that's the Calgary Tower, and it's going to start to make me more relevant in Calgary. So posting exterior photos of your office building or your city and things like that is going to actually help you rank in your city, believe it or not. When you're posting listings, use the listing address in your content so that Google knows where that property is. That's also going to help you rank faster. So make sure that all of your service areas are listed on your GMB profile. And I'll show you where that is as we get along here too. So link posts to a location page on your website that is the same location as your keyword. So if you've got a website with specific communities that you work in, make sure that you are linking your posts to those community pages on your website, because the more click-through you get both on Google My Business as well as on your website, the higher you're going to rank. So that's another big one too. And then embed your GMB listing on all your website pages. So what I often do for my clients when we create a website is at the very bottom, we're going to have the footer. We're going to have, before their footer, we're actually going to have their GMB listing page on every single page of their website. Because again, that's just putting your GMB content, your GMB profile on more digital real estate, pun intended. And that is going to start to help get you ranked as well. Prevalence. I think I've pretty much covered this one already, but post often, post quality images. If you are posting at least 3 times a week, you are going to be doing better than 90% of the agents that I see on Google. So here's a quick little click-through rate hack. And I'll have this in a later slide too, but I'll cover it here. If you create a post in your GMB listing, you'll get a little share button on that post, and you can actually copy the URL to that post. If you post that on Facebook and on Instagram or in a YouTube video, Google's going to see that post is actually getting more traffic from all these different websites. But here's the fun part, is that you can actually link that post to your next post. And so when somebody clicks the learn more button, they're going to go back to the last post that you just posted, or even to your primary GMB listing. And you're going to get 2 clicks for the price of 1. And that's what Google wants to see. They want to see that people are actually clicking through and viewing your content. So whenever we've got a brand new GMB listing, we don't click the learn more button to websites. We actually use their GMB content and we backlink it to their own content to start getting them ranking faster. So that's a little bit of a hack that you guys can use today in your GMB posting. So I already mentioned share your GMB posts on other profiles because, again, the more clicks you get, the more Google's like, hey, this person's actually interesting. People want to know more about it, and they're going to start to rank you higher. Include a link to your primary GMB in all of your posts. So that can be included in that 1,500 word text. And then include your GMB listing name, address, and phone number in all of your posts because, again, they're going to see the keyword that's in your name. They're going to see your name, and they're going to see your brokerage name more often in every single one of your posts and start to rank those things a little bit higher. Now, reviews. In my opinion, this is probably one of the most important factors. So first, you've got to get on page one in order to be relevant. Once you are on page one, you need to get people who are actually interested in you and what you're all about. They need to know that they can trust you. They need to know that other people trust you. And so reviews is going to be the number one factor for you actually getting clients from this. If your reviews suck, nobody's going to call you. If your reviews are awesome, people are going to call you. They're going to want to know more. So collect as many real reviews as you possibly can and respond to all reviews, even negative ones, using keywords in your responses. Because again, the more keywords that are littered all over your GMB page, the better. I've actually got some clients who, when they request a review, they actually have a review fundamentals sheet that they send out to their clients and say, hey, if you could include this in your review, that would be great. And they use that to get their clients to actually write keywords for them in their posts without being say this. So quick tip there as well. Why are reviews so important? So I kind of did this little test here a couple months ago, and if you're watching this live, I want you to play along here. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can still play along as well. Which one of these two stands out? So is it number one or is it number two? So if you're watching this live right now, I want you to hit 1 or 2 as to which one stands out. Right now, I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 1. Okay, when I did this live with about 50 agents in my group, I think probably 99% of them said number 1 stands out the most. And why is that? Well, number 1's got a 5-star rating, even though they've only got 5 reviews, whereas number 2's got a 3.7-star rating with 36 reviews. So the next question is, where did they actually rank on Google? And I'm going to show you why this matters. Number 1 ranked at number 11, and number 2 ranked at number 1 in my city when I was setting this presentation up. So the whole point behind this is that number 1, I guarantee you, has more than 5-star reviews. But because they have a handful of crappy ones, that's dropped their star rating down to 3.7, and that is what's visible. And so why do our eyes automatically go to the less reviewed 5-star review profile versus the more reviewed, worse review profile? It's called the Amazon effect. So thank you, 21st Century, for the Amazon effect. What the Amazon effect is, when I got my start in online marketing, I actually started drop shipping products. And so I learned a lot about this and the importance of reviews when I started my first digital marketing business. I want you guys to think about going on Amazon and you're searching for, let's just say you're searching for a mug. You're going to find oftentimes, and especially nowadays, you're going to find multiple of the exact same product by different vendors. And the vendors are the ones that get rated, not necessarily the product. And so you can find the exact same coffee mug from 2 different vendors, and one coffee mug has a 4-star rating, one coffee mug has a 5-star rating, and the 5-star rating coffee mug costs $2 more than the 4-star one. By nature now, because we've all been conditioned to the Amazon effect, we're going to look at the 5-star mug, even though it's the exact same mug. And I can tell you guys with certainty that it is actually the exact same mug that's ordered from China, that's sitting on Amazon. But our brains are going to automatically go to the 5-star one because we've all been conditioned to look for the best product available. And so getting a high volume of quality 5-star reviews instantly sets you apart, regardless of your ranking position. So reviews, you need to get them. You need to get lots of them, and you need to make sure that they're going to be good reviews in your GMB profiles here. I hope that all makes sense. So relevance, distance, prevalence, reviews. Those are the 4 key fundamentals. And if you want to get a refresher, you can just go back in the replay and watch those again. So now I want to kind of show you guys inside GMB, because a lot of people don't actually do it at all. So if you've got a Google account, which is going to be a requirement to set up a GMB account, you need to have a Gmail account. So go get one. If you don't have one, go and get a Gmail account and then go and set up your GMB listing. So the first thing that I want you to do to optimize your GMB listing is go to the info page, and I want you to go set up your GMB listing name. So one of the things that I actually like to do before I do this with my clients is I like to do a little bit of keyword research and find out what are people actually searching for the most. Quick tip, real estate is usually the number one thing that's going to rank you using that keyword. So if you have real estate in your name, make sure you do that. Now, you'll notice that I've got this little R right here underneath my, or beside my client's name. A lot of people will put that, and they'll put that right beside realtor. It's actually going to be connected as part of the word. But Google will recognize, realtor with the R symbol as the keyword phrase. But I can tell you with confidence that nobody's actually adding that R when they're searching for a realtor. So you need to make sure that you're aware of that with your keywords. You want to make sure that they are going to be as people will actually type them out. So do that first. So set up your name, whether it's your name or your brokerage name, add a keyword in there. In this case, we added 2 keywords. Update your primary address. So you need to make sure that this address is accurate and is really the location, because when you set this location address, you're going to get a verification card in the email from Google. And you need to actually be able to collect that card to verify your GMB profile in order to actually get started on here. And then include all your service areas for broader reach. So down here is where you can actually include every single service area that you cover. And that is going to help you with broadening out from that 5-mile radius. Make sure that you set up your hours of operation. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, I'm only open from 9 to 5. But you guys are realtors, so let's be real. You guys work till 11 p.m. So if you set your time as a much larger time frame, Sunday through Saturday, if somebody comes on here to look for a realtor or searches for real estate, anything at 7 p.m., a lot of the brokerages, a lot of the offices are going to be closed. And so people are not going to click on those or try to call those people because they're closed. So if you have a longer hours of operation or an open all the time, you are likely going to get more phone calls. And you'll see that as an example here in a little bit. Add in all of your phone numbers. So you can add your personal cell phone number, your office number. If you've got a Google tracking number, even better. You just plug those all in there so that people have multiple ways to get a hold of you. Creating your GMB short name. Now, I recommend using the same name if possible as your GMB short name. That's going to be a link to a GMB website down the line. And then add your primary website. And this is actually super, super important. I just did a live on this in my group the other day. Even if your brokerage supplies you with a website, so it's going to be your name dot your brokerage name, then that's your primary website that you're sending people to. I highly recommend you go and you buy your own domain and you use that domain here and you forward that domain to your brokerage page, because first of all, you're probably not going to be at that brokerage for the rest of your life. In my experience, realtors do switch quite a bit. And so you want to have a domain that you own that is on all of your social media content, so that it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. If you need to re-forward your URL somewhere else, you can. So that's another free tip from me today, is to get your own URL. If you've got a online calendar where people can go book with you, put it in here. And again, use your own personal domain if you have it, for people to go and book with you, because that's going to matter in the long term with ranking your stuff. Add your primary and secondary service categories. So I'm going to get into this here in just a little bit, but add as many as you possibly can here, and you'll see why in just a second. Your description. So you need to write a description so that people actually know about you, and actually want to get to know you a little bit more, know what you love, know where your expertise is, why do you love your city, all of that sort of stuff. Keywords in here don't matter. So don't stress yourself out too much about writing this. Just make it nice. Tell people why you love your community, why you love what you do, who are the types of people that you like working with the most and why. So just write a nice little thing about yourself and don't worry about being strategic, because the keywords here do not matter. So again, don't stress out about it. Now, services. The reason that I say add as many services as you can is because keywords do matter in your services. And so the more services you have and the more keywords you have in your service descriptions, the higher your page is going to rank. So there is no limit, from what I understand so far, on how many services you can actually add to your GMB listing. And then again, just all of these descriptions, make sure that they have keywords in them that are related to what you do and what the service is that people are going to be searching for. Now, with posting, you're going to go into posts and you can just create a what's new post, or you can create an open house event, and you can do all of that fun stuff. You've got 1,500 words to work with here. So use them wisely when you're writing your content, because keywords here will matter. One thing that I actually do is I actually copy this whole string right here, address, and I get the phone number, I get the GMB share link, and I actually add those to my posts so that this comes up more often. Those keywords actually come up more often as you start posting. So this will be in every single one of the posts that I do for my clients. And then again, just strategic keyword stuff. Now, the other one too is text and high quality images. So in this case, I wasn't building these images, but if you add an address somewhere in this image, Google's going to know where that address is, and it's going to make it more relevant in that location and that community, just by simply putting the address in there as well. So to stay relevant, you need to be posting at least 3 times a week, and include quality images with keywords of both image and text, because Google can read your images. And this is where I mentioned that click-through rate hack. You'll have a learn more button option, or a call to action button that you can add here. You can actually save the share link of this post and paste it into your next one, so that when somebody clicks on the learn more button, they're actually clicking to another post, or they're clicking to your primary GMB profile where they can then click to call you. And so that's kind of a little click-through rate hack that I use all the time, because you're going to end up getting 2 for the price of 1 every single time you make a post. So that's it, guys. That's literally what we do for our clients to help them optimize their GMB page, and help them post and manage their GMB to get them ranked on the first page. And so I wanted to quickly show you guys some results that we actually get for our clients doing exactly the things that I just showed you. So Porter and Associates, that's the demo account. So that's actually one of my clients right now. He did not rank anywhere on Google My Business when we first started. So I think I had to go to page 25 to actually find his listing. And we got him to page 1 in 14 days. And he's currently ranked number 5 in Hamilton, which is in Ontario, Canada. And it is a super, super competitive market. And I just got this text message from him the other day that he just got a $1.8 million listing from a direct call from Google because he was visible and he was open. So again, using that 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is actually probably what helped him get this listing appointment. The Howard team. Now, this one was an interesting one because he hired me. He's like, hey, I'm already on the first page, but I want to do better. I want to get more reviews. I was like, great, let's do it. So we got him to number 9 in 7 days from number 15, generated over 50 reviews for his business using our Real Review system through our NurtureBox software automation. Now, this one was one of my favorites. She actually had no listing at all. It was a brand new listing. We had to get her verification card before we could actually start doing this. But we got her to number 1 in 14 days and generated over 31 reviews for her from family, friends, and past clients, and got her to the first page for the keyword humble real estate, which is the community that she works in. And then this last one is even better. The last one that I'm about to show you is actually a brand new client. I actually did a giveaway in my group for the GMB Fast Track program, and this young lady won. And she's a brand new agent, only been an agent for less than a month. And she was actually the lucky winner of our GMB giveaway. And this is her page here. So she is actually, we haven't even started the review cycle yet with her. We're still building her list, but we got her to the number 3 spot in 48 hours just by optimizing what I showed you guys for setting up her page. We just optimized her page for keywords for real estate and Avon real estate. and we got her to number 3 in 48 hours. And she actually currently outranks her own brokerage in 48 hours. So guys, it's not rocket science. You guys can all do this. And I know you can, because I do it all the time. I do it every single day. So if you want to rank on Google in 30 days or less, you can either take what I just showed you, watch the replay, and do this yourself, or feel free to get in touch with me at any time. If you've got questions about it and actually how we do it and how we systematize it, to make it so that it takes less than an hour a month to manage and stay on top of your Google rankings. So guys, that's it. That's all for me today. So I don't know if anybody might have questions, or if anybody's watching live, or if Kristen, you want to pick my brain some more.
Yeah. So
let's do it.
We do have a question. Howard asked, would you recommend a Google Suite to use as your GMB account?
Like a G Suite email? You don't actually need a G Suite email to use it. I am a big advocate of having your own branded branded everything. So your own URL, your own email URLs, like everything should be branded. So if you don't have a G Suite account today and you don't have your own domain, it's okay. You can still use your personal Gmail account to create your GMB listing. And it's not going to impact your overall ability to rank. But long term, yes, brand yourself, get a G Suite account, get your own domain, and have your own domain emails.
Cool. And then I know you had your links on the last slide, but if somebody wants to book a call with you, or they want to talk more, should they just message you, or do you have a calendar link you want to share?
I have a calendar link. So StreamYard, if I type it in this chat, can they all get it?
I believe so.
All right, let's do this. Just make sure I spelled it right. Yeah, I think so. There you go. So it's actually in the chat. It's rmmarketing.ca/Adam. That is my direct calendar link. So you can feel free to book with me there at any time. If you want to know more about kind of what I do as a whole, you can just go to our website, rmmarketing.ca, and you'll get a lot more information there. There's a contact us page there, as well as a chat widget that you guys can use to reach me.
Okay. I'm not seeing it pop up in the chat. Let me see. Oh, you sent it.
Oh, you know what? I sent it as a private. Hang on a second. Let's go to comments. Let's go to comments. Wow, there's so many more of you writing comments than I thought. How could I have been on private chat this whole time? I can't post a comment.
Okay.
So you've got it. You can post it for me.
Yeah, I'll drop it.
But if you guys just want to search my name on Facebook, just Adam McInnes. I'm always in Messenger. So if you have any questions, you can hit me up in there at any time. That's probably the easiest and fastest way to get a hold of me if you've got questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was amazing. I don't know about you guys, but myself, I took notes of things. I am on GMB, and I still learned so much that I was like, I need to go check this. I need to go look at this. So this was really awesome. Really appreciate you hopping in. Like I said, guys, Adam is my go-to expert when it comes to GMB, and really happy and excited that he made the time for us today. So give Adam a look, and thanks so much for coming on and joining us today.
My pleasure. I love it. I love doing this stuff. So I'll be back anytime you want.
Awesome. We'd love to have you. Awesome. Well, guys, I am going to go ahead and wrap us up for the day. And, we'll be here in the group this week, or I'll be here in the group this week. So if you guys have questions or you need anything, you can always reach out. And the replay will be up and available. You guys know I'll send out the link in just a bit. Have a good one, and go out and be the best version of yourself, more so today than you were yesterday.
You bet. Thanks, everybody. Take care.